With God. That's what it's going to be about. Does it matter that we give in to sin, such as greed, selfishness, being judgmental, or being a source of unkind criticism? Does God expect better of us than this? Or is he so full of grace that our disobedience is of no consequences to him? Our obedience is so important. It's what's going to get us to the next level. We all are striving to get to a higher level. But to get to that higher level, one, we got to be obedient. One, we got to understand what our purpose is. One, and then we got to stay prayerful. We got to try to work all of those. In fact, he keeps us in perfect peace. By obedience, our prayers will be answered. One of the things that will happen when you obey God is that our prayers will be heard and answered. What a marvelous thing that is. But I don't think God answers our prayers just on the basis that we have gone through the mechanics of being obedient. No, it is not that way at all. And John 15:16 seems to indicate that the answered prayer is a type of fruit, or a manifestation of his grace that comes to us as we abide in him. Thus, as we make our obedience a lifestyle for the last time, Father, in our name, he may give to you. The Bible says, whosoever we ask, we receive, because we keep his commandments and do those things that are pleasing in his sight. What are we doing right now that's pleasing in God's sight? What are we doing? The last result of obedience is the most important. By our obedience, the Father is glorified in the Son. In John 15:7-8, it says, if you abide in me and my words abide in you, you will ask what you desire and it shall be done for you. By this my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit, so you be my disciple. And so here Jesus tells us if we abide in him, which includes our obedience to him, we will receive answers to our prayer. The word means that when you abide and obey, and when your prayers are answered, then he will be glorified. God just wants something from us. And it seems like we have a hard time being obedient and giving it to him. He's just asking us to be the best that we can be. And not make things tough. One of the main reasons God wants us to be obedient is that he knows what's best for us. Only he knows. Only he knows. He knows our outcome. He knows how we're going to live. He knows what we're going to do when he empower us with something. He already knows if we're going to be right with it. Only he knows that. But he still trusts us. He'll still forgive us, because God will call someone to something that you would never expect. And you'd be like, what? But God knows. It's like in sports. Every so many years, there's only one great superstar that comes. God knows. God knows. In Thessalonians 4:3 says, it is God's will that you should be sanctified, that you should avoid sexual immorality. We are in a special relationship with God. And because God is holy, he wants us to live holy lives that are pleasing to him. For God did not call us to be impure, but to live a holy life. He has called us to this type of obedience because he loves us and wants what's best for us. I got 8 steps that's really important for you all. So I really need you all to write this down. Because if you all can follow this, I think we all to be obedient. And then God will really get some glory. Step number 1 is decide early on that you will strive to do the right thing and commit to be obedient in reasonable, righteous, and worthy rules. That's like here at New J, you know, we got clergy staff and we got people that are pastors, elders, ministers, and deacon, and there's an order. And I had a nice little conversation. Pastor Gamble, we was just talking about that. And it's being obedient and respecting the order. You might not like the person that's above, but you have to respect the order. And that's all God is asking us. We have to respect that order. You know, if elder asks a minister or pastor asks a deacon or whatever it is, you have to respect that. You gotta go with that because of that authority, because of that order. Number 2 is listen to your parents when they tell you why they prefer you to do one thing over another. Most likely you already been through that already. They don't want you to go through that same pain. So they no, don't do that because I've been there and done that. Number 3 is think before you act. Sometimes we move too fast. We ain't thought about it. We ain't put God in that mix yet. I know my wife always complains because she always asks me something. It might take me like a week or 2 weeks or something. She always tell me it take too long. But I just want to be sure. It don't take all that time. You know. And sometimes I kind of forget about it, but because I be thinking about so much. But I just want to be right. Use formal and social acceptable methods to challenge or question rules that you disagree with, rather than be a rebel and disobey to get your point across. See, we good at that. You know, when you do get rules for something, then you don't like the rules, so you still want to try to disobey them, and then you're causing some problem. Instead of it's something you don't like, just sit down with that person. Hey, you know, X, Y, Z. Then you can sit down and discuss why X, Y, Z. Remember, this is the next one. Remember that every time you obey and do the right thing, you become stronger and more able. God will empower you to do some things that you want to do that you thought you couldn't do. And that's because of your obedience, your steadfast. You staying in there. You're not throwing the towel in. You didn't give up on them. You fighting right on through. No, I'm going to stay in here. I'm going to do what I got to do. It's when you give up, when things change. Because you work so hard to get to a point. It's like, I'm trying, like say for instance, you just said you want to start a business. You did all the groundwork. You got to a point, now you're stuck. Now you're ready to say, no, okay, I can't do it. No. You stay in there. You got to keep trying. You got to keep trying. Keep God in the mix with you. The next one is put others before yourself and engage in service. Do we put others before us? Or is it always about you all the time? Always about you all the time. If it don't benefit you, you ain't want to do with it. If it don't make you happy, you don't want to have nothing to do with it. It ain't about you. It ain't about you. It ain't about you. It's about God. What He wants us to do. That's what it's all about. It don't matter what anybody, I always tell people, I don't care about somebody talking about me. You can talk about me till you turn blue in the face. You can talk about me until the skies fall. But whatever God asks me to do, that's what I'm going to do. Whatever my authority person tell me to do, that's what I'm going to do. Even if I got to do it by myself, I'm going to get the job done. You know, in the sense of my mind, I try to stay about God's business. Now, I might giggle and laugh and crack a few jokes here and there, but when it comes down to God's business, I try to stay obedient, and I try to stay focused, and I try to stay on the mark as much as I can. I make mistakes. I might say something wrong. I might do something wrong. You know, I get a phone call, too. I get a phone call. I got to answer that call. But when I get that call, I don't throw the towel in. I don't give up. I just say, okay, that's my fault. What I need to do, fix it. Okay, I messed up. Okay. Because of the ones who know, we got the kind of leaders that will let you know what happened, what was done wrong, and once that's done, it's over. It's closed. You can go home and it don't even come up no more. And that's what I like. If we willing to admit to our disobedience, everything will be all right. But we ready to. This is what we ready to do. Instead of when you know it's you, it's right here. As a leader, it's right here. If something that I'm over fails, that's not the people that's in it, that's me. That means I failed. The next one is amend your ways if you make a mistake. Amend your ways. Don't go around when you got that bad feeling about somebody or you dislike this person and this and that, and just every day you just haven't went to this person and just met the challenge. You know, I've been having this, you said something to me 6 years ago and I've still been thinking about it. Because that's going to hinder your process. Because it's still inside of you. You ain't released it. You ain't talked about it. You ain't did nothing. You got to be willing to do that. It's all good. It's all good. The next one is take time to evaluate the benefits and the blessings that you enjoy from being obedient. Think about it. When you get good grades, your parents, they give you a little something. You graduate, they got a little party set up for you. So stuff good does happen. It happens in the kingdom. Stuff that you might have been praying for, all of a sudden they get answered. So good things does happen. We just have to be willing to be obedient. By a show of hands, who's going to start being obedient? We know we falter. We know we fall. We know stuff happen. You just cursed somebody out last night. You got into it. Let's be. Somebody said this morning. Somebody said this morning. Sometimes believers do not always do what is right, but the Holy Spirit is always there to guide us. Yeah, we're not always right. We think we're right, but God will always correct us. Instead of me staying in my lane, I'm in somebody else's lane. And at the same time, I'm going the wrong way. And that happens. I need you to stay in my lane. This is my lane. Stay in my lane. Unless I become a passenger in your lane.